Tommy, thanks for joining Flyers TV, sponsored by the Bay Hotel. Burning question on everybody's lips in the last few weeks is why did the beard have to go?
I got a little bit fed up of it. It was fine for a while, and it was a little bit of fun doing some of the guys, but it gets a little bit annoying every morning when you're wiping the milk out of it trying to eat your breakfast. So I decided I'd take it off and change things up a little.
Still got a fair amount of growth there though, so you tend to keep it for the season?
No, I'll be off again soon. Just let it grow. I'm too lazy to shave. So.
More seriously, Tommy, the guys have done really well the last 3 games, 3 wins on the trot. Must be a bit of a boost to the confidence in the dressing room with those 3 wins.
Definitely, you need wins, and for a while there we were fluttering, just weren't getting the results. And I think, to be fair, a lot of it was down to the effort from the guys. I think everyone's can see from the stands, can see from the room. There's been a lot more effort the last 2 or 3 weeks. It should have been here all season. It hasn't been. Now that we've knuckled down, we seem to be getting. We're not blowing teams out. We're not running away with games. It's been 3 hard-fought games, and that's what we need to do every night. That has to be the rest of the season, right through in the playoffs.
The nature of those wins, Tommy, every one of them you had to come from behind to win. You won the Belfast game from behind, and then won the last 2 against Cardiff and Hull with penalty shots to take the maximum points. That must be a huge boost to the confidence. Definitely,
it's character building, and those are the games where maybe you haven't got every bounce going your way. Most of the games that we've been playing, we've run into a lot of penalty trouble lately. You're never going to win a game by a lot of goals if you're getting a lot of penalties. That's something that we still need to work on, need to take out of the game. But generally speaking, the close games, if you're winning those, the easier or the wider margin wins will come. So it's the close ones that are the ones that you really need to win.
Do you think it's any coincidence that these games and also the game in Belfast, the second and third period, the team have had 12 imports and only 1 player missing really in Kyle Horn?
It definitely helps. I mean, the guys that come in, every single team in this league notices when they're an import down. But like I say, the biggest difference has been the effort and the work rate that the team have shown. I think it's evident from the first line right through to the third line. Everybody's going that little bit harder. Everyone's doing that little bit extra, and that's making the difference. Don't get me wrong. Like I say, the extra import definitely helps. Every team wants to run with a healthy full team. That's why everybody signs 12 imports. But it definitely, it wasn't just that was the problem. We've got to take some of that blame on ourselves. The guys that were still playing, we've got to take that on the chin and say that we just weren't good enough when we weren't winning those games.
The coaches obviously have had to come, Todd and Danny have had to come up with something to make you guys play a bit more consistent, and you've said 2 or 3 times it's about effort. What has been the difference? What was the turning point, Tommy? If you could put a finger on it, what would it be?
I think the same thing happened last year. We kind of started for a while, we weren't playing the full potential that we had, and I think it's almost that we were kind of waiting for things to happen instead of going out and making them happen. We waited a lot longer this year than we would like. You don't want to wait at all really, but we took a while to snap out of it and decide to come and play. Like I say, we need to continue that for every game for the rest of the season.
Preparations for this weekend's games, 2 games on the road, how have they gone this week in training?
It's been a good week of training, and everybody's upbeat with 3 wins, and everybody has realised that it's going to take the hard work to do it. So everybody's ready to go this weekend. There's going to be 2 tough games. Edinburgh are a team who are, they've been struggling lately, but they've got a couple of games in hand. They've just, I think, recently gone out of the last playoff spot, and they're right there in touching distance. And if they win their games in hand, they're going to be right in our tails. So it's going to be 2 big games. Dundee again, they've not been having a lot of results. They won't have as many wins as they would have wanted at the start of the season, but they just held Braehead to 19 shots, I think, last weekend. Braehead's a good team. It was a pretty close game, so we're going to have to go in there. It's not going to be an easy game either. We're going to have to earn every point for the rest of the season.
As you say, Caps are 2 points out of 8th spot, just behind Coventry, and they've got, as you say, a couple of games in hand. So they'll have no pushovers in Edinburgh, although their roster's maybe a bit lighter with, I think, Grimaldi and 1 other player going. Their roster might be a bit lighter. So how do you think that they'll set up for that game?
Edinburgh play a different style to every other team in the league. They play a more passive, they're not quite so aggressive, they're not quite so in your face, and they're quite willing to be patient and build up, and it's quite tough to play against. So we just need to worry about playing our game, take our game to them, and let them worry about that.
Dundee, as you say, they're at the bottom of the league. They're kind of adrift a wee bit. They've strengthened their squad this week. Do you think their season is over? Do you think that's an approach they're taking and they're just going through the motions now? Or do you think they've got any hope of making the playoffs?
There's guys in that team who've won championships in the past, so there's none of them are talking about backing up. You know, they're there to play. Nobody likes losing games. Nobody wants to be in the wrong end of a loss, so they're not going to be lying down, especially against Fife. It's a local derby. You know, there's not been as many flare-ups this year, but it's normally quite a feisty derby. And like I say, the guys in that team don't want to see Fife taking points. If anything, I would say they'd try it a little bit harder against us. You know, if they can possibly affect our run in the playoffs, then they'll be trying to do it.
So mate, thanks for joining Flyers TV, sponsored by the Bay Hotel. Good luck to you and the lads at the weekend.
Thank you.